A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the EKTV News at 7. My name is Adedayo Adele. The Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Abiodun Iban, just ordered security agencies in the state to fish out perpetrators of Wednesday's bank robbery at Ikere Ekiti and bring them to book. According to his special advisor on media, Mr. Yinka Oyibode, described the incident, which claimed 3 lives, as disheartening. The governor condoled with the families of victims, the Oguga Council, and the people of Ikere Ekiti. He directed government hospitals in the state to take proper care of those who got injured during the robbery attack. Also, the deputy governor of the state, Okinlo Amonisa Diafue, has visited scene of the bank robbery attack that claimed the lives of 2 Amotekun men and 1 other person in Ikere Ekiti. The report.
Okinlo Afuye was accompanied by the Special Advisor on Internal Security, Brigadier General Ebenezer Ogundano, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Dare Ogundare, and the State Commander, Amotekun Corps, Brigadier General Olu Adewa, retired. The Deputy Governor, while at the 2 affected banks on a spot assessment, urged officials of the banks to provide the police the needed information that could lead to the arrests of the robbers. She described the attack as barbaric and unfortunate, said no effort should be spared to bring the perpetrators to justice. The Deputy Governor also visited the residents of the victims to sympathize with their family, assuring them that government would not relent until the perpetrators are arrested. The team also visited the palace of Oguga to condole with the traditional ruler on the deadly incident. The Deputy Governor, while speaking at the palace, called on security agencies at various levels to launch thorough investigation to unravel those involved in the robbery attack.
We are on the visit. Exactly what happened yesterday. Yeah, it's too sad. Everybody can say that the loss will be too much like that. Both the property and the lives that involved.
The Oguga, Oba Dijimiadu, said that the family of the victims and the entire people of the town had taken solution in God. Speaking with BSS News, the Police Commissioner, Mr. Dare Ogundare, explained that his men and officers had recovered 3 vehicles and motorcycles used by the evildoers for the bloody operation.
We are hoping that by the special grace of God and with useful and credible information from the indigents, we'll be able to apprehend those responsible for the dastard act. My message is that they should be calm and expect the result of police investigation.
Have blown the doors of the banks with dynamite and allegedly made away with undisclosed amount of money. Adedayo Adele reporting.
Similarly, the Commissioner of Police in the States, Dare Ogundare, has visited in Ikere Ekiti for an on-the-spot assessment. Ogundare, who expressed displeasure over the incident, directed the Ikere area commander and the tactical team of the command to ensure that the perpetrators are arrested and brought to book. The police boss commiserated with the family members of the deceased victims and wished those receiving treatment a quick recovery. Call on residents of the area to go about their lawful businesses. Ekiti State Government has rolled out cash empowerment and working tools worth 20 million naira to another set of 50 less privileged in furtherance of the shared prosperity vision of the governor. Our reporter Toba Babalola was at the corporate hall governor's office in Ado-Ekiti. Now as the details.
The Senior Special Assistant Governor's Office, Mrs. Cholabi, explains that beneficiaries of the latest gesture were those who requested for financial assistance from Governor Oyebanji in recent months. According to her, the requests range from payment of medical bills, tuition, business upgrades and startups, among others. Aside the cash empowerment, other items presented to them are washing machines, deep freezers and hairdressing tools.
Of request to His Excellency, and when he gets the letter, he charges it. Those he wants to charge, he charges them to our office. Then we call the applicants, we ask questions. So it depends. For those that are requested for this, the hairdressers, we ask them if they actually learned the trade. If yes, then they will send us a copy of the certificates. They will send us their tax clearance if they started running, and they'll send us a copy of the association they belong to, because they all have associations. They work together. So we ask for those proofs before we verify their claims.
She emphasized the magnanimity of Governor Oyebanji to bring respite on the faces of the downtrodden, regardless of party coloration, and urged the beneficiaries to use the money in tune with their requests. Mrs. Abegu noted that Governor Oyebanji had reached out to thousands of people under the initiative since inception, assured those who are yet to benefit to keep faith in the Oyebanji administration, as it will soon be their turn.
We want to be sure that it's actually meeting the needs and it's plugging all holes in homes, as we hope it should do. We just appeal to them to do the needful. Use it just as you've make sure the request is actualized with all the things you've collected, all the benefits from this program. More of the governor's project. Personally, this is what he is doing himself to ensure he's able, because he's been doing it before he became the governor. He's been reaching out to people in his own ways.
Beneficiaries expressed joy and thanked Governor Oyebanji for remembering them.
I'm really surprised, like seriously. Even I don't imagine I can see all those stuff. I did not pay anything. They did not connect anything from my hand.
My dryer,
They prayed for him and as well expressed their support for his government. Toba Babalola reporting.
The Ekiti State Deputy Governor, Okilu Amunisa, has called on local government executives to work for the development of the grassroots. The Deputy Governor made the call during the inauguration of some legacy projects embarked upon by the Chairman of Efon Local Government, Mr. Olabode Adetunji. Bukola Debukola has more on the story.
The project inaugurated by the Deputy Governor include Itayana to Itaimesi Road, Urban Health Center, and the Council's Legislative Building.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okinwa Afuye commended Mr. Adetunji for his giant strides in the local government, noting that Ekiti development needs collective responsibility.
The local government and local council development area under the leadership of our governor, Mr. Oyebanji, are competent for last-man projects that are capable of increasing public facilities and make life bearable for our people at local levels.
Mr. Adetunji, an engineer, thank God and his team for the remarkable success. Mr. Adetunji, an engineer, thank God and his team for the remarkable success, noting that it was a result of hard work and dedication to duty.
I'm delighted to inform this gathering that our administration has successfully completed Urban Comprehensive Health Center, Alada, Efon, Alayi. It is no longer news that the democratic setting of our nation evolved around three arms of government, namely the executive arm, legislative arm, the judiciary for the purpose of check and balances.
He read out his achievement at the council area and thanking Governor Oyebanji for giving him opportunity to serve.
One of the reasons I went to politics has to do with ability to be able to develop my community. To take money from your business is difficult, but when you are in a political post and then you can influence a lot of things to your community, you can see that you are happy with what we have been able to do.
There were goodwill messages from Alayi of Efon, Oba Emmanuel Aladejare, and other political leaders at the event.
They are able to do their best and the work projects to the point which will help make life easier for people, provide more security, and so on and so forth. So I congratulate the outreach chairman and his team.
We told the General Hospital of Alaye with beds and scanning machine about 6 months ago. Apart from that, he has been able to construct and to rehabilitate certain roads. I am proud of him because he has been able to build on the legacies we built some 23 years ago.
The commissioning commemorates the end of a successful two-term tenure of Mr. Adetunji as the first chairman to attain such feat. Bukola Adebukola.
The Ekiti State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mr. Niyi Adebayo, has charged tacticians to ensure the timely release of official data. He gave the charge during the third quarter meeting of the State Consultative Committee on Tactics in Ado-Ekiti. PSS reporter Ademola Deleke completes the story.
Mr. Adebayo, who said the role of statistics in policy formulation and decision-making by government could not be overemphasized, added that the timely release of the data would go a long way in assisting government. He noted that government was aware of the challenges facing the statistical system and was putting necessary machineries in place to address them.
Well, I would say that with the available resources that the government has, these challenges will be addressed fully in the course of time. I want to draw the attention of the entire State Consultative Committee of Statistics and indeed the SSS, that is the Statistics System, to the following areas. Number one, the need to ensure we collect all relevant data as comprehensively and accurately as possible. Two, we also need to ensure timely release of these statistics, not beyond the second quarter of the succeeding year, because these, especially the ones that are done on a yearly basis.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Budget, Mr. Charles Ademolaju, in his goodwill message, lauded the Bureau of Statistics for furnishing his ministry with up-to-date data, calling for more collaboration.
My ministry primarily is one of the main users of the product of the Bureau of Statistics.
Earlier, the State Statistician General, Mr. Kolawole Omoyeni, expressed the readiness of the state statistical system to ensure the release of regular and timely commodity price index and inflation rate for the state. He acknowledged support received from the state government, which said aided the achievements recorded by the Bureau of Statistics.
In line with the current wave and drive towards making reliable facts and figures available for decision making in the state, I am happy to inform this forum that the state statistical system is poised to ensure release of regular and timely commodity price index (CPI) and inflation rates for the state as for this coming year. A demonstration of this is in the pipeline for the last quarter of 2023. And to the honor of our governor and to the benefit of mankind, we release these publications to the system. Amen.
The forum later dovetailed into a closed-door session. Ademola Adeleke reporting.
The 2023 edition of the Civil Service Week celebration in Ekiti State will begin on Monday with the head of service, Mr. Sunday Komolafe, featuring on the EKTV Current Affairs program, Daybreak Nigeria, by 9 in the morning. A press conference by the head of service will come up same day by noon. On Tuesday, there will be a novelty match between permanent secretaries and women in management by 4 in the afternoon at the Oluyemi Kaode Stadium in Ado-Ekiti. The interactive session with officials from grade levels 2 to 6 will hold on Wednesday between 10 in the morning and noon at the Cultural Center in Ado, while officers on grade level 7 and above will come up same day between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. On Thursday, there will be environmental sanitation across the MDAs Same day, award will be given to outstanding civil servants by Governor Biodun Oyebanji. Juma service will hold on December 22, while the event will reach its climax with church service and Thanksgiving on December 24. The mass exodus of healthcare professionals from Nigeria has been identified as a serious challenge that must be addressed by providing better working conditions among other solutions. This was submission of stakeholders in the health sector during the 2023 annual general meeting and scientific conference organized by the Association of Resident Doctors, Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital at Ekiti. Our reporter, Sunday Daramola, complete this story.
The theme of the AGM was Exodus of Healthcare Workers, its impact on healthcare system in Nigeria, and Ekiti State in perspective, with a sub-theme, Doctors' Welfare in the face of the economic downturn. The guest lecturers at the event, Dr. Babatunde Olofinbiyi and Mrs. Abimbola Sholanke, both concluded that Nigeria was facing a major challenge in retaining our healthcare professionals, as many are leaving the country in search of better opportunities and working conditions abroad. They said that investment in the sector must be increased, provide better working conditions for healthcare workers, and offer training and development opportunities for them to advance in their careers.
The economy supportive of this? Is the infrastructure of ground supportive of this? Are the policies and para-policies, are they supportive?
Those are the developing nations. We have fewer doctors and fewer nurses, and yet they want to poach those fewer ones to help them manage the healthcare sector.
The secretary to the state government, Dr. Abibat Adubiaro, noted that for any healthcare system to be able to meet the needs of its growing population and provide quality care for all citizens, all hands must be on deck.
We are not yet there, but I know by the grace of God, in 2 years to come, we have every cause to thank God that what we have in Ekiti is better than what we've been having in the past.
In their remarks, the Chief Medical Director of EXUTH, Professor Kaudi Olabanji, and the President, Association of Resident Doctors, EXUTH, Ado Ekiti, Dr. Famous Adeyemi, explained that the AGM and scientific conference had provided a platform to evaluate and review the activities of resident doctors. They noted that government at all levels needed to do more in the health sector to discourage the exodus of health workers.
If the budget is just about 5%, probably less than 1/3 of what it should actually be, then we are very, very far away.
The most staring one among the problems of the resident doctors in Nigeria is brain drain that is causing a lot of work overload for the resident doctors, and this is not unconnected with the JAPA syndrome.
Other stakeholders at the event advocated local redistribution of health workers, provision of infrastructure, and accord health workers the respect and support they deserve in the society. They noted that by taking the aforementioned steps, it would help Nigeria to retain our healthcare professionals and ensure that our population has access to quality healthcare service delivery. Sunday Daramola reporting.
Members of staff of the Southwest local government have been charged to be more dedicated to work in the coming year. The advice was given by the chairman of the council, Mr. Richard Opolola, during this year's Christmas carol and lessons held at the local government secretariat in Ekiti. Mr. Opolola said that the event was to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ and to thank God for his love and benevolence. Also, the head of local government, Mrs. Victoria Fashion, rejoiced with workers at the event, urging them to be more dedicated to work. The event featured Bible readings and singing of carol songs by different departments in the local government.
Before I became the chairman, I made a covenant with God that by the end of the year like this, I'll be doing a Christmas carol, praise and worship to the Lord. for bringing me this far. And I appreciate God and I thank God because He has been so wonderful to me and wonderful to the entire local government staff of the Southwest local government. And you can see it on the faces of every one of them. They were happy and we are praising God. And we believe that the Lord will accept our praise in Jesus' name. We have charged them to be of good behavior, come to work regularly, and I assure them that the government will continue to pay them as at when due.
And to use this as an avenue to praise the Lord for all His doings in their lives since the beginning of this year up to the present moment, and we have no cause to bury any of our staff.
The Staff Development Center has held another convocation and matriculation. The dual event held at the school premises in Ado-Ekiti saw the new intake taking the oath of allegiance with a promise to obey the rules and regulations of the institution. The principal of the Staff Development Center, Dr. Olufunsho Oguyemi, said the institution's goal was to train students to become reputable officers in any organization having acquired professional knowledge. She noted that several students have graduated from the institution since its inception in 1997 with impressive performances within the state public service and beyond. She urged the matriculating students to prepare for fresh challenges and opportunities as public servants with a call on them to be fruitful, dedicated to their studies. Addressing the student, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Capacity Development and Training, Mr. Femi Adedipe, congratulated the management and students of the Staff Development Center on the success recorded in the past by producing graduates as worthy ambassador in the public service. The visitor, school and commissioner, Ministry of Capacity Development and Training, Professor Patrick Tedela, urged the students to remain focused in order to be model to become change agents and innovators in the public service. Governor Biodo Ibanji and the head of service, Mr. Sunday Komolafe, were represented at the two-day event, which involved matriculation of fresh students and convocation of graduates of the Staff Development Center at Ado-Ekiti. The graduates, who were full of joy after receiving their certificates, as well as management and guests, were entertained by a cultural troupe. It was the 19th matriculation and 6th convocation ceremony of the institution.
Being admitted into this school has positioned you at the crossroads of a new chapter of life, full of opportunities, challenges, and growth. As you officially become part of our academic community, I encourage and challenge you to approach this journey of excellence with all.
You're very welcome, sir. Also, in our midst, Mrs. Akinyede, Mrs. Adeoye, you're very welcome. Right by the technicals.
The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Capacity Development and Training,
and all protocols duly observed by the authority conferred on
it is my pleasure to be in attendance.
Secretary and other dignitaries and the matriculating students of staff development. The next thing on the program is the administration of matriculation oath. Thank you, the Director Capacity Development in person of Mr. Emiloju. We have the representative of.
You are still watching EKTV News at 7. We now go for our commercial break. Please don't go away. news broadcasts, the acting governor of Ondo State, Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has called for renewed unity for accelerated development in the state, as envisioned by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Aiyedatiwa made the call in a statewide broadcast to the people of the state in Akure, the state capital. The state head of service, the State House of Assembly, at plenary announced Aiyedatiwa as the acting governor of the state, as Akeredolu continued to recuperate from illness. Aiyedatiwa also appreciated President Bola Tinubu, the All Progressive Congress chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, and Ruben Fashionati, among others, for their patriotism and for being part of the peace process to guarantee the continued subsistence of the state in the Committee of States. The Rivers State Governor, Similaye Fubara, has signed the 2024 appropriation bill of 800 billion naira into law. Fubara, who presented the bill to a four-member House of Assembly led by Speaker Edison Eher, yesterday signed the budget today at the Government House, Port Harcourt. The presentation was done at the Government House in Port Harcourt following the demolition of the Assembly complex by the state government. Also, the Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Zacchaeus Andago, has resigned. His resignation was communicated in a letter dated December 14 and addressed to the state governor, Simi Fubara. Andago said that the reason for his resignation from office was based on personal principles. He was one of the cabinet members of former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, reappointed by Fubara. President Bola Tinubu has approved the removal and replacement of some chief executive officers of agencies under the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development. A statement by presidential spokesman Ajure Ngelale says the decision was in line with the president's determination to bring world-class standards to Nigerian civil aviation in consumers' protection. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Mr. Kabir Mohammed, was replaced with Mrs. Olubumi Oluwaseun Kuku as the substantive managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, while the managing director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Mr. Adetunji Odun-Owo, was removed and replaced with Engineer Umar Farouk as substantive managing director. Also, the Director General of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Engineer Akinola Olatelu, has been removed and replaced with Mr. Alex Bade as the substantive Director General of the Bureau, while the Director General of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NEMET, Professor Namsa Matazu, was replaced by Professor Charles Anozike as substantive Director General of the agency. The National Assembly has said that the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency is poorly funded and has advocated an increase in budgetary allocation for improved road network in the country. A statement by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Farmer, Usmani Uba, says farmer could not meet up with the people's expectation of making all roads motorable and safe for users because the annual budgetary allocation to farmer falls grossly below the agency needed to carry out its mandate of maintaining federal roads across the nation. He enjoined farmer to invest more on stakeholders' engagement and publicity to enable its achievements, challenges, and aspirations heard and appreciated by the general public. The Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Mr. Adewale Adeniyi, has said that dishonest declaration by Nigerian exporters and importers has brought Nigerian trade data to question. Adeniyi gave the information at the commencement of the 2023 Controller General Conference in Lagos. He explained that there was instances where exports from Nigeria declared in a port in the United States of America were at variance with the actual content of the container. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has attributed the cases of cash scarcity in some major cities across the country to the orders of bank notes by some unidentified persons. The bank's acting director in charge of corporate communications, Mrs. Akamu Ali, in a chat with newsmen in Abuja, assured the people of the bank's readiness to address the problem. To the foreign scene, one of the prominent opposition candidates in Congo's forthcoming presidential election, Mose Kuntumbi, has suspended part of his campaign following violent clashes at one of his rallies. The incident occurred as Kuntumbi addressed a gathering of supporters in the coastal town of Munda, resulting in multi-injuries as such in tension ahead of December 20 election. Still on foreign news, U.S. House of Representatives has voted to familiarize its impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. The lower chamber of Congress, controlled by a slim 8-seat margin, Republicans approved the inquiry by a vote of 221 to 212. House Speaker Michael Johnson, in a statement, said the chamber will not prejudge the investigation's outcome. To sport, the general manager of the broadcasting service of Ekiti State, Mr. Oluwatimi Popola, has promised the continued support of the corporation towards sport development at the grassroots in the state. Mr. Popola made the promise during the presentation of award held at the station's headquarters Ilokun in Ado-Ekiti. Sunday Daramula completes the story.
Mr. Pokuola, who commended the award recipients for their achievements in the world of sport, noted that the BSCS Sport Award and BSCS Kiddies Football competitions were some of the ways to support government in promoting sport in the state. The general manager noted that the move was also to help youth redirect their energy towards a more productive venture.
Get more youths off the streets. I believe if, you see, the youths, they have this energy. If you fail to divert it to positive area, they will use the negative one. And sports is one of the areas whereby you can take these youths off the street. So we are passionate about it, and we are ready to support you all to make sure that grassroots in Ekiti State will take it to the height.
The director, News and Current Affairs Department of the station, Mr. Wale Olaoye, noted that the department will continue to partner relevant agencies to encourage sport participation among the youth at the grassroots.
We thank God again that we are having Ekiti people in the sporting worlds. We don't need to forget the name of Olukayode, and Damola Oshayemo, all people like that. We still have one guy from Ijero, Olarewaju, who played in that cadets line the other time, and you can go on and on and on like that.
Mr. Oluwashola Kende, who thanked the management of the station for the success of the program, said that there was the need to encourage youth participation in sport.
These are people who were able to come up with the program towards discovering talents in Ekiti State. How did they start? They have two of them, Damola and Bukola. For some times we've not been able to have athletics championship. But my GM sir and other dignitaries, for the year 2023, we had a well-deserved athletics championship. Can we put the house together for them, please?
Some of the award recipients were the Speaker Ekiti State House of Assembly, Mr. Adeoye Aribasoye, Head of Service, Mr. Sunday Komalafe, the Chairman House Committee on Sport, Mr. Idowu Odebomi, and Adoni SCDH Chairman, Prince Michael Ogungbemi. Others were former athletes who represented the country in both the national and international events, Bukola Abogunloko and Damola Oshayomi, as well as Coach Josiah Adeshogon for supporting Team EXU. 3 of the award recipients, on behalf of other awardees, commended BSCS for promoting sports.
I appreciate this award. Of course, it's something that we're aspiring to do more.
I did not even know that my performances in EXU are being known to people to even give me this prestigious award. I'm happy.
Overwhelmed receiving this glamorous award on behalf of my sister. So I'm glad, I'm overwhelmed.
I assure you that we'll keep doing more to engage our restive youth so we can take the best out of them through football and other athletic competitions.
Some institutions and establishments who had contributed towards the development of sport in the state, such as the Federal Polytechnic at Ekiti, Ministry of Education, and Nagbeyewa Farms Limited, were also honored. Sunday, Daramola, from the Sport Desk.
With that sports package, we come to the end of today's bulletin. Up next is Iroyin. Thanks for joining us. Good evening.
sínú ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Kẹ́misọ́lá Àríjẹnílẹ̀ Ọláni oníròyìn. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí ti pàṣẹ fún àjọ elétò ààbò ilẹ̀ yìí láti rí i pé wọ́n fojú àwọn ọ̀daràn èyí tó ṣe ọṣẹ́ nílé ìfowópamọ́sí lọ́jọ́rú ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí nílùú Ìkẹrẹ Èkìtì léde níbi ohun tí olùdámọ̀ràn pàtàkì rẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìròyìn Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Yínká Oyèbọ̀dé ti ṣe àpèjúwe ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ èyí tí àwọn aláìlẹ́sẹ̀ mẹ́ta ti gbẹ́mìí mì bí èyí tó bani nínú jẹ́. Ó sọ pé gbogbo ipa ni wọn yóò sà láti fojú àwọn ọ̀daràn náà léde. Oyèbánjí ló bá àwọn ẹbí tó fara kááṣá ọta ìbọn àti ọba ògbógà nílùú Ìkẹrẹ kẹ́dùn tí gómìnà pàṣẹ fún àwọn ilé ìwòsàn láti ṣe ìtọ́jú àwọn tó fara gbá nínú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà dáadáa nílé ìwòsàn tí wọ́n wà. Igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀kínlúà Monísádé Àfúyẹ́ ti ṣàbẹ̀wò sílé ìfowópamọ́sí èyí tí àwọn ọ̀daràn ṣàkọlù sí tí wọ́n sì ti gbẹ̀mí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ aláàbò alámọ̀tẹ́kùn méjì àti ẹnìkan nílùú Ìkẹrẹ Èkìtì. Akọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa Adédayọ̀ Adélẹ́yẹ ló wà níbi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà tó sọ pé Ọ̀kínlúà ló lọ síbi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà láti bá àwọn ẹbí àtàwọn èèyàn kẹ́dùn bí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ti ṣe wáyé. Kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Dáre Ògúndáre ti ṣàbẹ̀wò sójúkò ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tọ́daràn ti ṣọṣẹ́ nílùú Ìkẹrẹ. Ògúndáre tó fi àìdùnnú rẹ̀ hàn lórí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà tó rọ àwọn àjọ ọlọ́pàá láti rí i pé wọ́n fojú àwọn ọ̀daràn náà léde. Ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá tó bá àwọn ẹbí olóògbé tí wọ́n fara gbá àtàwọn tó ń gba ìtọ́jú nílé ìwòsàn kẹ́dùn tó gbàdúrà fún ìlera pípé. Ó ké pe àwọn olùgbé láti máa báṣẹ́ òòjọ́ wọn lọ láìfòyà. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ti fún àwọn 50 èèyàn lẹ́bùn owó tó lé ní 20 mílíọ̀nù náírà fẹ́tò ìrónilágbára àti ìpèsè irinṣẹ́ fáwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó láti lè dín ìṣẹ́ àti òṣì kù láwùjọ wa. Oníròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa Tọ́ba Babalọ́lá mú àbọ̀ wá pé olùdámọ̀ràn àgbà fún gómìnà lọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ arábìnrin Ṣọlá Àbí ṣàlàyé pé àwọn tí ó jẹ àǹfààní ọ̀hún làwọn tí ó béèrè fẹ́tò ìrànwọ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ gómìnà nínú oṣù díẹ̀ sẹ́yìn, níbi wọ́n ti sọ pé àwọn wọ̀nyí ni wọ́n béèrè lọ́wọ́ gómìnà láti bá wọn sanwó ìwòsàn àìdá ara wọn, owó iléèwé àti ṣíṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún wọn láti lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ òòjọ́ wọn. Tó tẹnumọ́ pé gómìnà Oyèbánjí ló nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí lọ́kàn, tó rọ àwọn tó jẹ àǹfààní láti lo owó náà lọ́nà tó tọ́. Arábìnrin Àbí wòye pé gómìnà Oyèbánjí ló nawọ́ ìrànwọ́ sáwọn tí iye wọn jẹ́ ní 100, tó rọ àwọn tí kò tíì jẹ àǹfààní láti fi ìgbàgbọ́ wọn sínú ìṣèjọba gómìnà Oyèbánjí pé láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà wọn yóò jẹrúfẹ́ àǹfààní ọ̀hún. Inú àwọn tó jẹ àǹfààní ètò náà dùn púpọ̀ níbi wọ́n ṣe dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà Oyèbánjí fún ṣíṣe irúfẹ́ ètò náà, tí wọ́n gbàdúrà fún àtìlẹ́yìn àti ìlérí pípé láti lè di ìjọba lẹ́yìn. Bákan náà ni igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Amúnisádé Àfúyẹ́ ti ké pe alága ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ẹ̀fọ̀n láti rí i pé ó ń ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́ tó kójú wọn fáwọn èèyàn agbègbè náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìbámu òpó ìṣèjọba gómìnà Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí. Igbákejì gómìnà ló pe ìpè yìí lákòókò ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ètò àkànṣe èyí tí ó wáyé ní ilé ìjọba. Adétúnjí ṣe àfihàn rẹ̀, akọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa mú àbọ̀ rẹ̀ wá, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ àbọ̀ rẹ̀.
Lára iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tí igbákejì gómìnà ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ ní òpópónà ìta ìyànà síta ìmẹ̀sí, ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé, ilé aṣòfin ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ náà. Ọ̀kínlá Àfúyẹ́ gbóríyìn fún ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adétúnjí fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun rẹ̀ níjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún, wòye pé ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ló nílò ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ èèyàn gbogbo. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adétúnjí tó jẹ́ onímọ̀ ẹ̀rọ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run àti àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ rẹ̀ fún iṣẹ́ ńlá àti àṣeyọrí náà. Ó wòye wípé àbájáde èsì iṣẹ́ takuntakun àti ìfarajìn lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ni àfihàn àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe náà.
Bí ọdún 5 sẹ́yìn kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ gba ẹ̀fọ̀n, ṣùgbọ́n lè ní àwọn èèyàn ń gba ẹ̀fọ̀n nítorí pé a ní ìjọba tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ojú sí nǹkan.
Ó ṣàgbékalẹ̀ àwọn àṣeyọrí rẹ̀ níjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún, ó sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà Oyèbánjí tó fàyè gbà láti sin àwọn aráàlú. Oríṣiríṣi ọ̀rọ̀ ìwúrí ló wáyé níbi ètò náà látẹnu aláàyè tìlú Ẹ̀fọ̀n Ọba Emmanuel Aládéjàre àti àwọn olórí olóṣèlú lágbègbè ọ̀hún.
Àwọn ìjọba tó ń kágbá sílé kú oríire ìjọba studio Adétúnjí wọ́n try wọ́n ṣe gbogbo.
cat ìjọba wọn ó yẹ everybody lẹ́nu ní nǹkan tá a ṣe níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ẹ̀fọ̀n níwọ̀nba ibi tí Ọlọ́run rán wa lọ́wọ́ ká tó gbéjọba sílẹ̀ á gbìyànjú.
Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ náà ló jẹ́ pabambarì àṣeyọrí ìṣèjọba sáà méjì lórí àlééfà ti ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adétúnjí tó jẹ́ alága àkọ́kọ́ tí yóò gbèrú ìgbésẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ìtàn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ náà. Bùkọ́lá Adébùkọ́lá ló já.
Kọmíṣánná fún ètò ìṣúná àti ọ̀rọ̀ àtò ọ̀gbẹ́ni Níyì Adébáyọ̀ ti rọ àwọn elétò ìṣirò láti rí i pé wọ́n ṣe ètò nípa àtò àrídájú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ láì fi àkókò ṣòfò rárá. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ló fi léde lákòókò ìpàdé tó wáyé fáwọn ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìṣirò nílùú Àdó Èkìtì. Àṣàyàn ètò fọ́sẹ̀ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ Ajé pẹ̀lú adarí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ọba Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Sunday Kọ́mọláfẹ́ tí yóò farahàn lẹ́ka ètò àtọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ nílé iṣẹ́ rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì pẹ̀lú lórí Daybreak Nigeria láago 9 òwúrọ̀. Àpérò ìpàdé pẹ̀lú adarí òṣìṣẹ́ àtàwọn òṣìṣẹ́ yóò wáyé lọ́sàn-án láago 12 lọ́jọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun lọ́jọ́ 29 lẹ́tọ̀ aré bọ́ọ̀lù àfẹsẹ̀gbá láàrin akọ̀wé àgbà àtàwọn olùdarí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ obìnrin láago 4 ọ̀sán ní pápá ìṣeré Olúyẹmí Káyọ̀dé nílùú Àdó Èkìtì. Ètò ìtàkùrọ̀sọ pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó wà lákàsọ̀ kejì sí ìkẹfà yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́rú láti aago 10 òwúrọ̀ di aago 12 ọ̀sán ní ilé ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé tó wà nílùú Àdó, nígbàtí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó wà lákàsọ̀ keje sókè yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò tiwọn ní aago 1 sí 3. Tó bá wá di ọjọ́bọ̀ lọ́jọ́ 21 oṣù kẹwàá ní ètò ìgbàlejò fáwọn ẹ̀ka òṣìṣẹ́ gbogbo yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kíkúrò nínú àìbójútó ètò ìlera lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ló jẹ́ ìpèníjà tí ó yẹ kí a gbájúmọ́ àti ṣíṣètò ìpèsè ètò àyíká tó ṣe. Èyí ni àgbékalẹ̀ èyí tí àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ètò ìlera ṣe níbi tí ètò ìpàdé oríkádún tọdún 2023 tí àjọ elétò òṣìṣẹ́ ìlera ṣe ní ilé-iṣẹ́ ìgbé àwọn dókítà ìkọ́ṣẹ́ ìṣègùn nílùú Àdó Èkìtì. Sunday Dáramọ́lá wà níbi ètò náà, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ àbọ̀ rẹ̀. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Èkìtì South West nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ni wọ́n ti rọ̀ láti tẹpá mọ́ṣẹ́ nínú ọdún tí à ń wò lọ́nà. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìmọ̀ràn yìí ni ó jáde látẹnu alága ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Richard Ọ̀pálọ́lá lákòókò ètò orin ọdún Kérésì tí wọ́n ṣe nílé iṣẹ́ ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ náà nílùú Ìlàwọ̀ Èkìtì. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọ̀pálọ́lá sọ pé ṣíṣe ìrántí ọjọ́ ìbí Jésù Kristi ni ó jẹ́ ohun tí ó yẹ ní bó ṣe dúpẹ́ fún ìfẹ́ àti àánú èyí tí Jésù Kristi ní fún àwọn èèyàn. Bákan náà ni adarí ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún arábìnrin Victoria Fáṣẹ̀hùn báwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó wà níbi ayẹyẹ náà yọ̀ tó rọ̀ wọ́n láti gbájúmọ́ iṣẹ́ wọn. Àṣàyàn ẹsẹ̀ bíbélì kíkà àti kíkọ orin láwọn ẹlẹ́kajẹ̀ka ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún ló wáyé. Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ìdàgbàsókè àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ti ṣe ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àpéjọpọ̀ ìgbaniwọlé mìíràn. Ètò oníbejì ọ̀hún tó wáyé ní àyíká ilé ìwé ọ̀hún nílùú Àdó ló gbà àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọlé tuntun pẹ̀lú ìbúra ìlérí láti tẹ̀lé òfin àti àṣẹ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà. Olórí ilé ìwé ọ̀hún Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Olúfúnṣọ́ Ògúnyẹmí sọ pé ilé ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀hún ló wà fún kíkọ́ àwọn ọmọléèwé lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó péye láti di òṣìṣẹ́ láwọn iléeṣẹ́ lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n bá ti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yege tán. Ó ṣe lálàyé pé ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ọmọ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ló ti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yege láti ìgbà tí wọ́n ti dá ilé ìwé náà lọ́dún 1997 tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe dáradára láwọn iléeṣẹ́ gbogbo èyí tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe iṣẹ́ ọba. Tó rọ àwọn ọmọ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tuntun láti gbáradì láti kojú mọ́ àwọn ìpèníjà àti pé oore ọ̀fẹ́ ńlá ló jẹ́ fún àwọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba pẹ̀lú ìpè pé kí wọ́n farajì fún ẹ̀kọ́ wọn. Nígbà tó ń bá àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà sọ̀rọ̀, akọ̀wé àgbà nílé iṣẹ́ ìjọba lẹ́ka ìdàgbàsókè àti ìkọ́ni Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Fẹ́mi Fádípẹ̀ báwọn ọmọ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà lọ pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ iléèwé ọ̀hún fún àṣeyọrí wọn àti àtìlẹ́yìn èyí tí wọ́n ti ṣe láti lè rí pé wọ́n kò gòjà àlejò pàtàkì níbi ètò náà ní kọmíṣánná fétò ìdàgbàsókè ẹ̀kọ́ ìkọ́ni Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Patrick Tadela tó rọ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ láti gbájúmọ́ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wọn. Igbákejì gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Lucky Ayédàtiwá ti pè fún àtúnṣe ìrẹ́pọ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kí ìdàgbàsókè wà nínú ìṣèjọba gómìnà Rotimi Akeredolu. Ayédàtiwá ló pe ìpè yìí nínú ètò ìbára ìlú sọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣe nílùú Àkúrẹ́ tó jẹ́ olú ìlú ìpínlẹ̀ náà. Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún níbi ìpàdé kan ni wọ́n ti kéde Ayédàtiwá bíi adelé gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo níbi Akeredolu ti ṣe wà ní ìdùbúlẹ̀ àìsàn báyìí. Ayédàtiwá ló wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu, alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú All Progressives Congress Abdullahi Ganduje àti Reuben Fásọ̀rántì àtàwọn mìíràn fún ẹ̀mí ìṣòlóòtọ́ àti gbígba àlàáfíà láàyè ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers Sim Fubara ti fọwọ́ sí ètò ìṣúná oní ẹgbẹ̀rún bílíọ̀nù náírà fẹ́tò ìṣúná owó ọdún 2024 láti sọ di òfin. Fubara tó ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìṣúná ọ̀hún lọ́jọ́bọ̀ fún ilé ìgbìmọ̀ kẹrin ṣèlérí láti pàkísímọ́ra fẹ́tò ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún nínú ètò ìṣúná ọdún ọ̀hún. Ní báyìí ètò rògbòdìyàn òṣèlú tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Rivers ló ti gba ọ̀nà tuntun yọ báyìí níbi adájọ́ àgbà tó tún ṣe kọmíṣánná fẹ́tò ìdájọ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Zaccheaus Adagor ti ṣe fi kọ̀wé fipò rẹ̀ sílẹ̀ nínú ètò ìṣèjọba gómìnà Sim Fubara. Adagor tó jẹ́ alábàáṣiṣẹ́pọ̀ gómìnà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún Nyesom Wike sọ pé ìkọ̀wé fipò sílẹ̀ ló yẹ òun. Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu ti yọ àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ olùṣètò tó jẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ lájọ iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ọkọ̀ òfurufú àti ìdàgbàsókè tí ó sì ṣe àrọ́pò àwọn mìíràn. Àtẹ̀jáde látẹnu agbẹnusọ àgbà ààrẹ Ajuri Igalele sọ pé ìpinnu náà ló wà pẹ̀lú àṣẹ ààrẹ láti lè jẹ́ kí àjọ náà bá àwọn èèyàn mu ní àwùjọ ní ojú ọ̀nà òfurufú lójú ọ̀nà ẹ̀ka òfurufú láti lè jẹ́ kí ààbò èyí tí ó péye lè wà. Adarí àgbà fún ìrìnnà ọkọ̀ òfurufú lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Kaba Mohammed ni wọ́n fi arábìnrin Olúbùnmi Olúwaṣeun rọ́pò rẹ̀ bí ọ̀gá adarí nígbà tí olùṣètò àgbà fẹ́tò ìrìn àjò ojú òfurufú Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adétúnjì Ọdúnowó ni wọ́n yọ tí wọ́n sì fi amójú ẹ̀rọ Umar Farouk rọ́pò láti máa darí nígbà tí wọ́n yọ ọ̀gá àgbà tó rí ṣètò ìwádìí ààbò àmójútó ẹ̀rọ Akínọlá Ọlátẹ́rù tí wọ́n sì fi Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Alex Bada rọ́pò. Adarí àgbà fún àjọ NAMET Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Mansour Matusu ni wọ́n fi Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Charles Anosike rọ́pò ní àjọ náà láti máa ṣe olùdarí. Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ti sọ pé ètò ṣíṣe àtúnṣe sáwọn ojú ọ̀nà tó jẹ́ tìjọba àpapọ̀ ni wọn kò ṣètò ìṣúná owó tó tó fún níbi wọ́n ṣe sọ pé ètò náà ni ó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ètò ìnáwó èyí tí ó tọ́ fún láti lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe àwọn ojú ọ̀nà tí ó yẹ ní ojú ọ̀nà ìjọba àpapọ̀ gbogbo tó wà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ló jáde látẹnu ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń ṣètò iléeṣẹ́ Fama Alsan Uba tó sọ pé Fama ló sọ pé àjọ yìí kò lè tẹ́ àwọn èèyàn ìlú lọ́rùn láti ṣèpèsè ojú ọ̀nà tó dára ní ìjọba àpapọ̀ nítorí owó ètò ìṣúná tí wọ́n fún wọn ló kéré púpọ̀ láti ṣàwọn ojú ọ̀nà ìjọba káàkiri lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Uba ló wá rọ Fama láti fi ìgbìmọ̀ èròǹgbà ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wọn ṣọwọ́ sí NANS torí láti lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n bá wọn rí ojúṣe sí lójútùú sí àwọn ohun tí ó ń fẹ́ àtúnṣe nílé iṣẹ́ náà. Àpapọ̀ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn aṣojú ti fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan láti tako ètò ìṣúná ẹ̀ka ìdájọ́ ilẹ̀ yìí. Bákan náà ni wọ́n fún mínísítà fẹ́tò ìṣúná Àtíkù Bàǹgúdù àti adarí àgbà rẹ̀ Ben Akabuese ní wákàtí 24 láti farahàn níwájú ilé látàrí ètò ìṣúná tí kò dára tó tí wọ́n ṣe tako ìdájọ́ ilẹ̀ yìí, léyìí tí wọ́n lérò bí èyí tí ó lè mú ìjákulẹ̀ débá ètò ìdájọ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Adarí àjọ ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò ilẹ̀ yìí Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adéwálé Adéníyì sọ pé àìjólóòtọ́ àwọn àjọ náà ló ti fáwọn olùtajà ilẹ̀ òkèèrè àti àwọn tó ń gbé ọjà wọlé lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí tó ti jẹ́ kí wọ́n ní ètò ìdààmú lórí àìṣe ìṣirò èyí tí ó yẹ kán ṣe ní ẹ̀ka náà. Adéníyì ló fi ìmọ̀ràn náà léde níbi ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìpàdé ọdún 2023 nílùú Èkó. Ó ṣe lálàyé pé àwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kan ló jẹyọ níbi tí àwọn ọlọ́jà ilẹ̀ òkèèrè àti ti orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti kéde ibùdó èyí tí wọ́n ti rí àwọn ohun èlò inú agolo èyí tí kò bá ìgbà mu tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó kúrò lórílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà. Báńkì àpapọ̀ ilé wa ti lòdì sí àìsí owó nígboro lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí bí ohun tí ó bani nínú jẹ́ tí ó sì ń fẹ́ àbójútó. Adelé olùdarí àgbà báńkì tó ń bójútó ọ̀rọ̀ náà lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ arábìnrin Akama Ali pẹ̀lú àwọn oníròyìn nílùú Àbújá fi dá àwọn èèyàn lójú pé wọ́n ti ṣetán láti wójútùú sọ̀rọ̀ àìsówó ní ìgboro. Ó ṣe lálàyé pé báńkì àgbà ilé wa ń ṣe àwọn ìwádìí àti pé wọn yóò ṣe pèsè àwọn owó ìná sáwọn ẹ̀ka báńkì gbogbo tó wà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí fún ṣíṣe okùn òwò àti láti jẹ́ kí ara rọ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀kan lára gbajúgbajà olùdíje sípò ààrẹ nínú ètò ìdìbò ààrẹ tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà ní Lekunrere Moses Katumbi ti dáwọ́ ètò ìpolongo rẹ̀ dúró látàrí ìkọlù tó wáyé níbi ètò ìpolongo náà. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀hún ló wáyé níbi ètò tí Katumbi ti ń bá àwọn olùsọ̀gbé rẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ní Coastal Town ní Monda, léyìí tó fa ọ̀pọ̀ ìpalára àti rògbòdìyàn tó fa ìpayà báwọn èèyàn ṣáájú ètò ìdìbò 20 oṣù Kejìlá. Ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Congo sọ pé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ agbófinró Katumbi ti ń ṣe ohun tí ó tọ́ láti lè jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà padà sí orílẹ̀-èdè náà. Aṣojú ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà ti dìbò fún ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìfilọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ nínú yíyọ alákòóso Joe Biden. Ilé aṣòfin tó kéré jù pẹ̀lú ìjókòó 8 ló fọwọ́ sí ìbéèrè ọ̀hún pẹ̀lú ètò ìdìbò tó jẹ́ 221 sí 212 ìbò. Agbẹnusọ ilẹ̀ ọ̀hún Mike Johnson nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ sọ pé ilẹ̀ ọ̀hún ni kò ní ṣèwádìí àbájáde ìwádìí ètò ọ̀hún. Ìwádìí ìyọkúrò ọ̀hún ló yọrí sí ètò ìdìbò ṣíṣàyẹ̀wò tó fa ẹ̀fọ́rí fún ààrẹ nínú ètò ìdìbò tó wáyé lọ́dún tó kọjá. Olùdarí àgbà níléeṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì BSCS Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúrótìmí Pópóọlá ti ṣèlérí ìtẹ̀síwájú àtìlẹ́yìn fún iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún lójúnà àti mú ìdàgbàsókè bẹ́tò ààrẹ ìdárayá láwọn ẹsẹ̀ kùkú nípínlẹ̀ yìí. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúpópóọlá tó sọ̀rọ̀ ìlérí yìí lákòókò tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ níbi ètò ìdálọ́lá àmì ẹ̀yẹ tó wáyé lólú iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún nílùú Àdó Èkìtì. ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ àbọ̀ rẹ̀ látẹnu oníròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa Sunday Daramola. A kò ní rí jù báyìí nínú ìròyìn fún ti àṣálẹ́ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pàdé lọ́la fáwọn ìròyìn wa mìíràn. Ó dàárọ̀.